This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
You're listening to the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast. And now, here's your host, Lisa Rangel.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to the 47th episode of the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast. I'm Lisa Rangel, host of the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast and founder of Chameleon Resumes. We are an executive resume writing, LinkedIn profile development, and job search consultancy firm that helps executives and high potential leaders land their next position faster. And on today's podcast, we're going to go in depth on how to use the performance appraisal time as an opportunity to make yourself shine. Some may call it a performance review or an employee performance evaluation or self-assessment. This event goes by many names, but that time of year to evaluate your performance always typically comes around at your organization. So a performance review should not be dreaded or avoided. I believe it's an opportunity to capitalize on to advance your career. And there are arguments made from two camps of HR and management professionals that justify and nullify the purpose of doing a performance review. And I can see both sides of that argument. And employees are on both sides of that argument as well. Some loving the process, some hating the process, but the process exists. And I'm of the mindset, use it to capitalize on as an opportunity to advance your career. So I say there's two main purposes in capitalizing on this corporate event being the performance review. The first is that you can turn this into an opportunity to help increase your salary or position yourself for promotion or both. And the second purpose is my multitasking mind. The second purpose is to use the information that you need to put together for your performance review to update your resume and your profile. And you can use your recent achievements and title changes in order to do that. So to me, this second option helps you stay ready and confident to address whatever the world brings your way because you always know your worth and you always have your documents ready. So I say make the most of it and multitask. Make this event matter to you in a few different ways. So when your next performance review comes up, here are some items you want to include in your performance review and then tie into updating your resume and your LinkedIn profiles. And some of these may seem obvious that your boss should know, but don't assume your boss knows any of these points that I'm about to elaborate for you because they sometimes just don't know. And you need to humble brag about these items. I mean, if you don't promote yourself, typically nobody else will. So here's a list. So first, you want to record job promotions or transfers that you had and that resulted in a title change. And if your responsibilities increased, but your title did not change, still note the increases in responsibility, where those areas changed. And you want to look at your last review period to see where you're at now and make sure you note those changes in your responsibilities. Next, list new accomplishments that will demonstrate the value you bring to your firm. You want to always show your value consistently. Some areas to look at that you've positively affected are revenue production that you've contributed to, sales percentage increases, cost savings, labor efficiencies, streamlined operational issues or processes, improved profitability. Those are just some examples that you can include in terms of enumerating your accomplishments. Also, next, you want to note initiatives that you led or contributed to or advised or participated in, depending on your level or the angle you came at that particular initiative. Outline the results of these initiatives. What was the point of you doing it? Especially if they were managed by you, what was the result? What was the qualifier that made it seem like you did a good job? How did you measure your success? So look at where things started, look at where it ended. So this way you can articulate your results from being involved in that initiative. Next, outline relationships that you've created or nurtured or saved as a result of your efforts. It's not only about what you've accomplished, but it's also about how you've developed your network and how your company can benefit from your network. So don't fail to mention this. This is important. Don't take your relationship building and your connections for granted. They are of value to the firm. Next, enumerate where you made money, saved money, streamlined a process, mitigated risk, or contributed to the company culture. This is something that I cover in my resume writing training always is how you develop the bullets. You're going to do the same thing for your performance review. More examples I gave you in some of the earlier points, but some other examples that are worth pointing out are maybe new clients landed, existing accounts expanded upon, maybe troubled accounts that you revived. If you are in, so say, supply chain or logistics, maybe realigned vendor relationships, making third-party partnerships that are much more fruitful and beneficial to the organization. Show how you contributed to the top or bottom line. You want to capture major project wins that are going to be of interest to your direct and indirect management teams. And lastly, don't forget to list awards, recognition you received, if you joined any new professional associations, if you contributed in a significant way with these professional organizations that you joined, make sure you communicate how you contribute to that professional organization if you were selected to speak or lead. And lastly, don't forget to look at your performance review from last year to see where you progressed, and you want to highlight that in your summary. It's always important to show growth. And if you want to put all of this together in your resume, you can go to our free resume cheat sheet resource at resumecheatsheet.com. We also have a free LinkedIn profile resource at linkedinprofilecheatsheet.com. And we demonstrate how you can write these points successfully into your resume and your LinkedIn profile. And if you want help conquering your next performance review, then I suggest you hire us for personal guidance on how to do this to elevate your career and maintain your current role. It's about being proactive in your career in today's economy. That's true executive job security. And your performance review is a major opportunity to do this elevation or this maintenance. So go to executivejobsecurity.com, invest in our executive job security program to work with our team of career performance coaches who can show you how to devise a plan to tackle your performance review with grace and purpose to advance your career. This way you don't have to do it alone, and you can still maximize your efforts. Our career coaching resource, again, is found at executivejobsecurity.com. In past episodes, we talked about the only way to truly protect your job for yourself from job loss is to pretend you're fired today and make a list of the activities that you would do to start to find your next job now while you're still working. This is a key element in the Pretend You're Fired Today action list. We want you to be in demand when you need it, so you need to create the demand before you need it. This way, if your job situation changes unexpectedly, you already have pent-up demand for what you do by doing these actions that I'm showing you here today. So for the next few episodes of the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast, we're going to go through a list of tactics and activities that you can do now as if you were let go today to ensure you're always employable. You're always ready for whatever the world brings your way. Remaining employable nowadays is not staying in a job for 20 years. Remaining employable nowadays is to be able to land your next role fast when things change for you at your current job and you're still at the same, if not even a better level than what you were at in your current role. So you want to be able to make that change on the fly. So the first item on our Pretend You're Fired Today to-do list was your resume, and we cover that in episodes 1 through 8. And the second item on the list was updating your LinkedIn profile, which you can review in episodes 9 through 12. We also have our cheat sheets, the resume cheat sheet at resumecheatsheet.com and the LinkedIn profile cheat sheet at the aptly named LinkedInprofilecheatsheet.com. So you'll see those resources there, as well as in the podcast episodes, the first 12 podcast episodes. And in the last 24 or so episodes, some of the topics we've covered in job search, in interview preparation, and in salary negotiation and career management are how to work with recruiters, how to answer the salary question on interviews, ways to create 9 hours of job search time per week. I mean, what would you do with those 9 hours, even if you didn't use them for job search? I would definitely listen to that episode. And ABCs of job security. So you're going to want to revisit those episodes. I'm so proud of you for listening and for taking these next steps to making yourself marketable when you don't really need it right now. Most people wait for the unexpected job change to happen, and then bam, they're trying to learn this information at the same time that they're pressured to find a job. And it's terrible when that happens, but it happens. But kudos to you for learning this stuff now and doing it before you need it, because this is what will help you stay employable and just reduce the stress of remaining employable. So my friend saved me with her priceless advice. Pretend you're fired today, and I'm paying it forward with you. And I ask you to pay this sentiment forward and share this advice and this podcast with as many executives and rising professionals who you feel would benefit from this create the demand before you need it advice. To me, this is like a gift. I just love sharing this information because it saved me, and I just want to make sure that I can help others with the same premise. So doing the steps suggested in this episode will help maximize your performance review opportunity so you can position yourself for a better raise or promotion or both, right? Look at both. In the next episode, we're going to discuss an opposite topic to this topic we spoke of today, which will be what to do if your boss wants you out of your company. That is always a challenging situation for people when they experience it. And I have some guidance to share that can help with this type of sensitive situation. So don't miss the next episode so you can know what to do if you're in this situation, or if you're in it now, at least we can help. So, and in the interim, if you want personalized coaching for your career, you can go to executivejobsecurity.com. Hire us to help you with this issue today, with your performance review, or any other issues that you're struggling with. And you can also be proactive. This is the key to creating continuous employability in your career. You can manage it. So I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank you for being with me today, and be well.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.